running out of money sort of thing. There was some people like Bobo was still there on big money and stuff, and I think the cracks were starting to go. And look, the memories. Totally agree, Pat. If I'm going to go back in my lifetime or my time, I'll either go back to the centenary year type, around then, or in the 6-2 game. And personally, for me, the 6-2 game, I actually flew. I was in Glasgow for the 6-2 game. Wasn't meant to be. My mum had suddenly got ill, and I flew back, and I found out she was terminally ill. I got a ticket by literally, and it's something I'll always be grateful to. I had to pretend to be my cousin's son. I was 28 at the time, and I had to pretend, I think, to be a 9-year-old to get into the game.
Well done. Carried that off well.
I did. Actually, it was one of those where I got in, and I think it was basically against them. The ticket people just wanted all the seats filled and didn't want any hassle, so we got in. I expected nothing, and I remember in the run up, and again, this is sort of where I think O'Neill was smart enough that when he took on the press, he could make you look stupid, so they weren't going to do this. The equivalent of the Dr. Joe or even the Kenny Dalglish, maybe I, maybe no sort of thing. They were, and I remember Chick Young interviewing him beforehand and saying to him, Martin, I think they'd won 5, we'd won 5. This was a big decider sort of thing. And it was like, well, you put more pressure on yourself if you win, And O'Neill just went, so are you saying that I want to lose? And I'll be honest, at that point you're saying, Chick, he's got you forever. You will never ask him another stupid question like that. And look, you're right. 50 minutes in, we've won. End of the game, I have no issue being a 28-year-old man saying I stood in a chair and I cried like a baby.
Like a 9-year-old.
Oh,
that was good.
A 9-year-old.
You were just keeping the persona going.
Yeah, I remember at one point dancing on the chair with tears coming down my cheeks, and no issue with that. And I'd say for about 2.5 hours in an absolute month of hell, 2.5 hours of sheer ecstasy. And it was what, and that's my time with you. Literally, out of every game, that's the one. But see what that did. That was us. We were back. We had we hadn't just beaten them. We had absolutely smashed them. And I'll be honest, that was it. And I know a couple of months later we played them and they beat us 5-1. But who gave a shit? We were already romping the league at that point. We were winning the treble. Then you throw in Seville and you throw in 80,000 going to Seville. And I remember off one of and I think it was a Harry Brady stat from, he was watching CNN, and they said in the days preceding Seville, 3% of all world travel was involving people getting to Seville somewhere or another, or some mental stat like that. And I must admit, I'm still trying to get my head around. It might have just been one guy in one plane, or one guy.
There was definitely something around the time that it was the biggest ever migration for a single sporting event. So not like the Olympics and stuff like that, but just a single sporting event. But it was the largest ever migration.
Wasn't it the biggest human movement in Europe since the Second World War?
Quite possibly.
I've heard that too.
Aye. Now, again, you never know whether these stats, because what is it? Half of all internet stats are made up, and it was Abraham Lincoln said that. So you never quite know whether these stats are. But no. So anyway, sorry. Back to O'Neill.
Well, actually, no. We should point out, Martin, that the reason you pass for a 9-year-old getting into the 6-2 game is most people don't realise this, but you're actually a dwarf.
Nobody will know. Anybody back in Scotland that doesn't know Martin, they don't know anyway.
No, it's a man's
little dwarfy man. Little dwarfy man.
Of course he's going to pass for a 9-year-old.
And
seriously.
you know what? He'd been dressed up as a leprechaun. That was just acceptable and everything.
It's green and white at the pass, you'd be right. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on, Gordon Strachan.
I was going to say let's wrap it there now, guys, with that, because that's an hour into the show already.
Kev, you promised.
Let's battle through these quickly then. Gordon Strachan.
I did promise. Cheer.
Absolutely.
Lot of time for me, Gordon. Lot of time for him.
Aye. And 3 titles in a row.
Yes.
Tony Mowbray.
Indifferent.
I'd cheer him.
Huddle.
I like Tony
Huddle.
Mowbray.
I felt sorry for. I did feel sorry for him, but he didn't have, unfortunately, too many bad results.
I was going to say, I think if you split it, if you take it just as managerial stuff, I don't think I wouldn't boo him, but I don't think.
No way. I think my same would never boo any manager, previous Celtic manager.
But I think if you take everything else, he did the huddle, he brought it back. Have you seen the clip recently about how well he talks about us and everything?
Oh, he does. Yeah.
You know, so a total respect for him and his whole Celtic personification. But I don't know. I think it's probably indifferent from his managerial stuff.
Yeah.
Right, final then, because we're not going to do Ronnie yet, because he's only not that far in. Neil Lennon.
Absolutely. I'd be cheering him without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, you know, I've spoken on this podcast many times before. I never wanted Lenny going either, but he has said recently in an interview as well he'd be open to coming back sometime in the future when he's done his stint elsewhere. And no, I would welcome him back with open arms, definitely. Celtic to the core, Lenny.
Pat?
Yep, absolutely. Enough said.
I think also I'd throw in there the crap he went through, and again, if we want to go back to the media, the lack of brutal condemnation of what he went through. You know, viable bombs getting sent to him, bullets getting sent to him. I never heard the Scottish man. I didn't hear the managerial association going, right, this is it. This is, you know, this is, we're all going on strike. This is, I heard that, it's a disgrace, but I never.
He brings it upon himself, was a lot of the piss you heard at the time, which was just disgraceful.
And actually, I would even take it back to when he was playing and he was getting booed every time he touched a ball. I'm sorry, but if he'd been a black player or a Jewish player, or, you know, it'd have been condemnation. You're totally right. He brings it on himself. It's the type of player he is.
Yeah.
So, aye.
We're all cheering Lenny.
Aye. Cool.
Right, that was good. Martin, that went on for a while, sir. I thought we were going to bomb through that. But anyway, it was a good little look back through the history books of our managers. But I think it's fair to say, by summing that up, there's a few indifferent. There's plenty we're cheering, but there's no past Celtic managers we boo, no matter how poor they might have been. We're not booing any of them, really. Not even Luigi McCarthy.
Yeah, but saying that guy Steen, I don't know if he quite did it. Do you? I'd maybe be a bit indifferent to him. Like, only 10 league titles, 8 Scottish Cups, 6 League Cups, and 1 European Cup. You know.
But he didn't win 2 European Cups, though.
Sorry?
He didn't win 2 of them.
Aye.
He had a chance to win 2 and he blew it. I mean, seriously.
I would just with that team that were just chokers.
Vastly overrated. Anyway.
Aye.
Right, boys. We'll move ahead to Sunday's game against Aberdeen. Now, this isn't going to be easy. Again, we're coming off the back of a European away trip. We don't have the best at records anyway. And we haven't done for a long time coming out back from Europe to any game. But good old league fixtures the way they are, of course, they managed to contrive against us or conspire against us, and we find ourselves up at the Hill of Dung, Pittodrie, on Sunday. Now, the way it stands just now, we are sitting in 3rd place on 23 points. Aberdeen are sitting in 5th place, only a point behind us on 22 points. If you listen to their fans and stuff like that, they've been up for this game for weeks, because I think they think we are not certainly not playing to the best or certainly the best we have been. I think we have improved in recent weeks right enough, but again, the only thing in the back of my mind is this coming on the back of the away European trip. So we'll go around, and Martin, I'll come to you first. What's your thoughts on this game against Aberdeen on Sunday, and what's your score prediction?
Look, I think it's going to be a tough game. I think, one, it's just the trip to Aberdeen, right? It's they're sitting in 5th spot. Just now, we've got a game in hand to them, but they're sitting only a point behind them. We've got the European trip, then having to get back for that. But I think we're doing well. I think we're playing a lot better football. I think we're just getting it. We're getting it together. I am willing to predict a a 4-1 win to Celtic.
Oh, you were sounding quite cautious there and quite thinking.
Oh, no,
4-1's quite a margin of victory.
Quite cautious. My gut is
Okay.
2-1 with 10 minutes to go and blow them off the field with 2 more.
Okay. And are you going to give us goal scorers?
Guidetti and actually Guidetti all 4.
Oh, for crying out loud! I hope you're right. I hope you're spot on. But time will tell, of course. Time will tell. That would be a lovely scoreline and victory if we could get it. That'd certainly put a few people's gas at a peep.
Oh no, actually, sorry, I'm going to slightly change it. Guidetti 3, and because Charlie Mulgrew's gone back there, Charlie Mulgrew got 1
from a free kick.
Not from a thundering 35-yarder ripping the back of the net, almost Naka-esque.
All right.
And maybe
I look forward to seeing this on Sunday.
I saw
I'll be pie-eyed by the time this comes on, but I'll explain this more in a minute. Patrick, what's your own thoughts ahead of the game against Aberdeen, and what's your score prediction?
Well, I think they've had three wins. I know they beat Ross County last week. I think it was
they
Dingwall.
did.
Yep,
they did,
and it was only, I think they scraped it from memory. But I don't know. I've got a good feeling. I think Guidetti coming back into the team, it just changes the whole dynamic of how the team plays and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to say for tough game, I reckon we'll win 2-1. All 3 goals will be scored by Celtic players.
Oh, we're getting an own goal.
We're getting an own goal.
Tom Boyd doesn't play for us anymore, remember? He scored an own goal
not
up
sure
there.
Why, but Guidetti will score, and Johansson will score.
Oh,
and
interesting.
Then one of our players will score an own goal. So there you go. Lock it in.
Now, I don't know if you recall, gentlemen, but last podcast I predicted that we would win 2-0 and the scorers would be Guidetti and Skepovic. And I think you'll find I was spot on, boys.
Right, moving on. So what else are we talking about?
Aye.
So, but bizarrely enough, Pat, and I didn't speak to you about this, but I'm also going for a 2-1 because I think it will be tight, but I think we might, I hope we do just enough to win it. But, and like you, I'm going for Guidetti, certainly will be on the score sheet. I'm hoping it's another Guidetti special free kick, actually. But my second goal scorer, I was thinking on Johansson, but I'm going to go for Lee Griffiths this time.
Ooh.
He'll come off the bench to replace Skepovic and he'll score. I'm going on his form that he showed the other night there. He'll be quite fresh and he'll be keen to impress. And I think he'll come off the bench and score a wee left footer for us. I don't think we'll score an own goal, but yeah, Aberdeen are going to get a goal. I can't see us up at Tawdry. They do generate a bit of an atmosphere when we come to town up there. They're fans, so that'll push them on to maybe get a goal. It'll be interesting for a few of our players that haven't been up there before. It might be a wee bit daunting for them, I think. Get into a bit of a hostile atmosphere, so I think we might shed a goal up there. So yeah, 2-1, and it'll be Guidetti and Griffiths are the goal scorers for me. So we're all going for wins anyway, which is always the case, really, isn't it? But,
Aye.
But it's all positive. I hope Pat and myself are wrong, and I hope you get this correct score though, because that would be lovely, a wee 4-1.
The boys, quickly then, Guidetti, what should we be doing? Should we be trying to sign him soon? Well, should we try to sign him now? Should we try and sign him at Christmas? Or do we need to wait to the end of the season to see whether he's the real deal?
No, I've seen enough already that the guy's a special talent for his free kicks alone. I mean, he maybe is going through a little bit of a purple patch. We just don't know because it's still too early to say yet. But from what we've seen just now, his free kicks are like penalty kicks for us. The guy's pretty special, and I would certainly hope we don't have to pay $5 million for him. I'm encouraged by what he said in some of his interviews to say that money's not the most important thing to him. I hope he seems one of these guys that wears his heart on his sleeve and he's more of a he's definitely a football fan. You can sense that.